Well, AI is the topic for, or AI quality is the topic we're all talking about, whether it's, hallucinations or, just bad performance. That's, it's the gold standard for AI is we've got to get to that quality that's trustworthy, you know. So how did you get to, these enterprise content teams, which are generally the least trusting people when comes to quality because it's got to be right. How did you get them to kind of trust this automatic decision?
Well, at first, what you do is we needed to make sure that we were using languages that we had certified that we were confident that we were going to be able to have a quality output that they were going to be satisfied with. We did some human intervention just to be able to test the output. We often do language quality testing anyway, so just making sure we double down on that effort to be able to prove that the output was going to be satisfactory for what they were trying to do, and then the results speak for themselves, really. So once we had done all that work, and I think it's really about the burn-in period of the first sort of 12 weeks as you're working on these projects with clients, getting them to be able to see the output, and then being able to kind of have a process by which you can introduce new languages, and then go through the same process of quality checking, and then establishing that it can work. And then AI is also doing a large part of the quality estimation output that we're working on as well within Opal. So creating a mechanism by which you can really judge the quality of the output that the AI is producing when it post edits a piece of content, and giving you kind of an indication, a signal of the quality of that work, and then routing that to a human in the loop as required is a critical component in that as well. So being able to manage that whole process end to end is really what gives clients confidence in their ability to do that. But as I said before, I think then it comes down to the different types of content that you're working with. So your tolerance for risk varies depending on really what that intended use for that piece of content is. So if you're a running shoe brand, and you want to use your little catchphrase, you want to make sure that that brand mark is perfectly translated and has been validated by a human in market. You're still going to always want to do that. But if it's a piece of support content that maybe is lower risk and lower impact, if it isn't absolutely perfect, then you need to be able to handle that correctly as well. And I think that workflow process is a little bit of what many people underestimate, but is a really significant part of the work that needs to happen in order to be able to really harness the potential of technology like Opal in translation workflows.
Well, and I think you're 100% right. And what I liked about from your nomination, talking about the quality piece, is you guys actually estimate the quality before the edit happens. Why did you think that that was a good way of doing it versus kind of that traditional translate and then post edit everything?
Well, yeah. So the flow that we really think about is, how do you do some traditional neural machine translation, then post edit with the AI, and then how do a quality estimation based on that output. And we felt like that is the most prudent way to be able to check what the AI is doing, being able to validate the output, and then being able to score it appropriately so that we can then introduce a human being to be able to make corrections as possible. And those corrections are very different to what a traditional post-editing piece of work might be for a linguist. So you're not just correcting it, you're also uh, annotating that work so you can point out where in the future the model may need to improve in order to be better. And so you kind of need to be able to put that piece in as well. So doing the quality estimation before it helps us in terms of being able to do the reinforcement learning that's required to create a better model in the long run.
Well, and the other thing I really loved from your nomination was the fact that you guys have this kind of continuous edit and continuous improvement loop. So, like the AI is giving you feedback, you're going through that feedback sometimes with a linguist, a human in the loop, and then you're feeding that back into the AI to keep learning, which was like, duh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's a large part of it, right? I think that's how these models get better. It's how the foundational models are trained, also, right? So what we're taking is that sort of concept, and then we're kind of doing it on a level that really represents language for a client, and that's really really important because most of the broader AI models are just improving language generally. And what you want to do is be able to improve language that is specific to your business and how you sound. So being able to do those corrections in that way have a really meaningful impact.